Hey everyone, welcome to another podcast episode of Life and Drawing. This is episode 10, and I thought for the double digit episode to try out a new thing, and I don't know if it'll be every incremental tenth of 10 episodes. But since we're hitting 10, I thought this would just be a sort of an open discussion. And I will eventually like to have, you know, a session where questions that are left in the comment section, when we actually do have questions in the comment section, to address, those on on a podcast like this. And so, and not that when we get questions, I would not address them in other episodes, but this will be one of those sort of like just open air. Actually, technically, all the questions are open air. So I'm really I'm butchering this. But anyway, I don't have a set topic, and some of the podcasts will just be, just open dialogue, so to speak. So I'm about to hit the timer button. Hopefully that made more sense to you than it did to me. That's kind of confusing. But let's roll 12 minutes. So, yeah, open discussion. What to talk about? So, what did I want to talk about? I I guess I could talk about the things I wanted to do when, like things I wanted to be when I was much younger. And one of those things was being a scientist, specifically hopefully I'm getting this right, a eptomologist. I think that's it. And if it's not, it's just basically the study of insects. And so I just had a fascination with insects and, just collecting them and bringing them in the house and having my folks freak out because, I'm bringing in lizards and bees and wasps and jars and ants. And so, messing around with centipedes. Those things are creepy, though. I mean, I'm amazed that I haven't gotten bitten by a centipede while I was in the Bahamas. At least consciously being aware of it. I've woken up with bites, um, and not knowing if it was just a, crazy bug bite or maybe a baby centipede bite, because they could pack a punch as well. What am I doing with this? I'm not feeling that. But yeah, so wanted to do that. What are some of the things you guys wanted to be? You know, and are you still pursuing those aspirations? And if you are, man, kudos to you. Encourage you to do that. Don't let your dream die, so to speak. Um, just keep a pushing and keep pursuing your dreams. But yeah, so I wanted to do that. Uh, Also wanted to be a professional racer. Uh, kind of, it's like kind of, but grew up watching a lot of rally and F1 back in the Michael Schumacher days. At least when I started watching, that's, he was just crazy popular at that time. So, so watch a lot of him. I don't know what I'm drawing here. This perspective is so off. This is not what I. This is not what I wanted to do. I really suck at drawing cars. I mean, unless I'm looking at a reference, I really suck at it. And this is not supposed to be a car. This is supposed to be like a truck. Oh, this is so sad. Supposed to be like a truck that's like super lifted, But man, this is horrible. My goodness. Can't believe I'm still drawing this. My hands are just moving. I don't know why, but I'm still doing it. Okay, let's stop. Cause that's horrible, man. Don't click off. Like I said, it's kind of odd just doing an open discussion because it's not like a structured thing, and so it's interesting how that's affecting my workflow, but yeah, going back to wanted to be a race car driver. Just fascinated me, and just wanted to do that. And so, but of course the joy of and the love of drawing superseded that big time, and gave birth to me just really growing into loving art. And so I just embraced that. But I just had a lot of different interests, and sometimes I felt that was I don't know if you guys can pick that up. I don't know. I'll have to check and post. But if you can, that's my 3-month-old crying, I guess. But he just got fed though. But he's growing. I think he's hitting a growth sprout. And so he's, you probably definitely heard that. Lovely wife coughing it up. It's crazy. I thought about doing this, and I'm like, man, this kind of looks like Gambit. For those who aren't comic book fans, it's one of the Marvel comic guys. But I've seen so many iterations of this sort of face mask, chin strap thing. But the first time I saw it, it was definitely on Gambit. And so whenever I see it, I automatically go to, hey, is someone trying to knock off Gambit look? I'm like, well, am I doing it now too? But anyway, where was I? What was I talking about? Race car driving. Oh, I got distracted. Yeah, my little man was crying. So, but yeah, man, wanted to be a race car driver. I still would love to go on like a track, and like one of those amateur tracks, or even if the track is not for amateurs, but a track where they allow amateur racing. I think that would be like super cool. That's one of my bucket list things to accomplish. I think that would I think that would be cool. One thing I struggle with is poses, and usually I do a lot of pre-construction to get the pose just right. And sometimes I will just use stick lines like that, do a circle for the shoulder muscle area, or all the joints. Do that, see how that looks. I mean, this would be kind of like a basic pose right here, and and it can work, but I try to. Oh, he's really ringing through. I guess he wants a little bit more food. Trust me, he's not being neglected. My wonderful wife is getting him a refill, and so yeah, it's 10:21 where I'm at, and so I try to. Usually, everyone's kind of quiet and to bed, and that's when I try to record. But it's tricky, I have a 3-year-old and a 3-month-old. So, but so going back to poses, this is somewhat kind of my default pose thing, and I try to just be a little bit more dynamic with the poses, so that it's either more heroic and more striking, and that's why I do like particularly parts of the anatomy that I'm either rusty in or not as strong as I would like to be. And so let me turn the sensitivity down a little bit. I don't know if it's gonna pick up. How much time? Okay, just 1 minute left. But yeah, so that would be kind of cool. So if I was to decide to go with this, then I would definitely bring in the anatomy, shoulder, triceps, elbow joint here, shoulder, biceps, elbow joint muscle group, forearm. Do that. Same thing here. And here, some for my goodness, all these terms you would think that I would geez, what is it called? Shortening. Wow, this is embarrassing. It's a basic term, but yeah, it's shortening, I think, foreshortening, I believe it is. And if I'm incorrect, don't crucify me. But basically, having certain angles of the body, or foreshortening. I think that's it. Is that it? Because I said it like with great confidence. I know what it is. It's foreshortening. And if it's not that, oh, there we go. Saved by the buzzer. But basically, certain aspects, and man, I haven't even had my chewables. I'm just spacing out certain portions of the anatomy will be shorter than So basically, so the biceps will be closer here, and your elbow joint, forearm will be closer here because just of the triceps here. There you go, bicep. And it helps. It truly helps. If you've heard other artists talk about studying anatomy, it's helpful. I never went to art school. Just had a bunch of art books, and and read and drew what I saw, and just read through the tips and the instruction, um, and drew what was there, and then just played with it. I didn't just play with it, but once you get you know familiar with muscle groups, the anatomy, bone structure, it definitely helps for your drawing, particularly the human body. And in this case, it's a male. You know, if it was a female, you got different body structure. Um, um, I'm not that great at drawing females either. And so, again, for me, I do sort of like a guideline of where I want major focus to be, or at least the angles. And so I do that, um, you know, so it helps, where um, chest area go, and waistline and stuff like that, um, and then you can, and from practice, uh, you'll definitely improve your. And the same thing goes again. Sometimes I go straight into the full. Okay, I know what I want, and skip the line drawing, and just go into full on. But the same thing. Drawing a straight line, drawing some circles. Okay, this is what I want. Getting really basic. I find I still do this because it just helps to be like, hey, but I want that pose. Particularly for hands, because that's one of the things I struggle with, and so let's say, okay, zoom in on that. If I wanted to, do a hand on a waist, sometimes it helps. Okay, that's the elbow, and I come here, and that's the hips. It just helps to do basic structures, and like, okay, it's gonna look like that, fingers, and like that, and then you could build on that, and from there, and build the hand, fingers. And again, it all helps when you have a good understanding of the human anatomy, and then you can go on from there and create. So, oh, I just sort of fade away from. Hopefully, you got that. But once you have the basic anatomy structure, I think that's why it's helpful to know and to just draw over and over and over again. And start with the basics, and then that way, particularly if your art is including human anatomy, if you're comic illustration or just drawing people, it's gonna help, and there's so many like art drawing books, if you just find one that is fairly basic, but it's very robust, but not overwhelming. And like the book I've used, it's called Drawing the Creative Process, and that's what that's a book I was using when I was in 8th grade, and there's other books too that's given me a lot of just cool instruction, and I think I'll probably just talk about those in another podcast. And so, because I don't necessarily want a podcast to be about. I know it's titled Life in Drawing, but the drawing part is more supplemental. It's more of like the background information, background music. Because there's tons of drawing videos. I really want to be more about just a dialogue. And again, it's kind of one-sided, but a dialogue based on you guys' questions, concerns, and thoughts, to hopefully build a community where folks can come and feel open to share what they're going through and be able to receive, if possible, some healthy advice. So anyway, thanks for this. Didn't turn out too badly for the first open-ish discussion. Be sure to smash that like button. We got to get the viewership up. And be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel, youtube.com, Mr. Lully. Also, you can follow me on Facebook. It's facebook.com, Michelot Comics. And for those who are able to support, even with just $1, it's patreon.com/Michelot Lully. Thanks, guys. I keep getting that mixed up. I keep saying like thanks or kanks, thanks, Anyway, thanks, guys, and peace. Enjoy this upcoming weekend. Bye.